Hi, parents of Room 113. So I'm coming on to make a video to talk about what I'm going to be bringing to you guys. I'm hoping I can get it to you this week. I'm making a lot of stuff, and I know, no, not. I was really thinking a lot about what I can do that can maybe help with working with the kids at home. So a lot of what I'm going to be bringing you guys is supports to support learning at home. I've heard from most of you that you guys are still working on all the paper I sent you. So you're not quite needing more packets of work. So I'm going to bring you some work, different activities, not a lot, not like I did before. But mostly what I'm going to be bringing you is resources that I put together for the kids to help you when you're working with them at home. So the big thing that you guys are going to get is you're going to get a book that looks like either this or this. Okay, so we have first, then, or first, next, then. Okay, and so this is a token board. What's on here is a token board, and the tokens are these pennies down here. And this is set up with different tabs, and this is what's kind of taking me a while to do. So when we open it up, you're going to see we have first are the two blue pages, and that's different kinds of work. So if we need, for example, one of your kiddos to do some math, they might get, we would do first math, all right? Then depending, like if they're struggling a lot, having a tantrum, we could then do basically pick one, come over here and pick another activity for them to do. Maybe like drawing or art. And they can do that, or there's all kinds of things in here. On the orange pages are essentially like rewards. That's what it's got the little star there. So you can pick like free choice or blow bubbles, ask to jump, yoga, a movie, or here we have take a break. Another big, what's a big favorite? YouTube. So if I was to work with a kid who didn't really want to do their math, so I would say first math, next YouTube, and then we would go and do a chore activity, which is on the yellow pages. That's set up for stuff that we do at home. The first page of yellow is chores. The second page of yellow is activities that you might need them to do, like take a bath or get dressed, brush hair, do dinner, because this can be used for not just for doing work, it can be doing for any sort of chore or activity at home. It's set up for that. And then we could do take a bath, right? So if you're working with the evening, with the kids in the evening, it might be, okay, so first we're going to do our math, then we're going to do YouTube, then we're going to go take a bath. And, you know, when we call them over to get started, and if they sit down, especially at the beginning, I'm going to want to just go, oh, you sat down, good job. Here's a penny, right? Let's look at our paper. What's your name? Can we write your name on there? If your kid can write their name, then we have them write, oh, you wrote your name, good job. Here's a penny. If they tell you, oh, my name is Jack. I mean, because it's going on YouTube, we're keeping names confidential. But then you would just, oh, okay, Jack, I'm going to write your name here for you. And then as they participate in the activity, you know, reward heavily at the beginning. So as they're doing, like if they're sitting and they're not screaming and they're not having a tantrum, you're working, good job. If they are screaming and having a tantrum, as soon as they stop, you know, if we got to sit, we got to work, deep breaths, let's take a deep breath. Okay, took a deep breath, good job, here's a penny. We want to just keep rewarding the positive behavior that shows that they're engaging and they're working with us. Always start small, do simple things first, easy things, get that going. It's called building behavioral momentum, and that's really complicated. It just means we start working and showing that we know how to work by doing things that are easy. And then we start building up and working on things that are harder so that the kid can feel successful. Nobody wants to feel bad or stressed, like that they don't, they're not doing a good job. So after they finish and they've done all of their math and they get all their pennies, and they're like, okay, so next we can take a YouTube break, right? And what you can do is you can move this over here, YouTube, and then you can come here to the time page, which has got the clock on it in green. Okay, and we're going to say we're going to do 5 more minutes. So we can do 5 minutes of YouTube. YouTube, 5 minutes, then it's going to be time for the bath. Okay, so that's set up in there. There's also, if you guys need it, on this time page, it's one more time, two more, three more, last one, right? So if we're doing, we're working on answering questions, you could prompt with these visuals and say, oh, one more, two more, three more. It's just to kind of help build understanding of how things are moving along and that they can do this kind of stuff. And so there's a ton of stuff in here. And that's kind of what's taking me a while because I have to make essentially like 13 of these. One of my kids already has them at their house. I'm also sending you another bag with has different like activities and extra pictures in it because I wasn't exactly sure what kind of pictures you would need. And so it's really set up for that. So you'll get that. You'll also get a token board, which I will show you in just a second. So the book can be really useful. It's really good for giving the kids options and helping them be excited and be engaged. Like if you want them to work on a chore, it might be really helpful to open up to the home chore page and ask them to pick out what kind of chore they want to do. Or if you want them to see what they want to work for, what their reward is, it might make a lot of sense to go to the reward pages and look at the pictures and let them pick, let them have a choice about what they're going to do. The same thing goes for work. When we go in, we can go and look at what kind of work do they want to do and see what they want to do first, right? Depending on your kiddo, you might want to do math and then writing or cutting or drawing, or if they're going to do a computer or an iPad activity, those are on these pages too. But the book can be kind of distracting sometimes. So what you can then do, which I'm also made for everybody, is a card like this. This is an I'm working for card. So this would be they get to pick a reward. And I'm going to go in here and I want dinosaurs. So the child's going to tell me, I want some dinosaurs. Okay. So they're going to work with their dinosaurs. And you're going to go then and pull the pennies off here. And they're all set up for you. And then again, just like as they're working, every time they do a little bit of the work or they get part through, they stay sitting, they stay focused, they're showing you that they're working hard, we give them a penny. And when they get all of their pennies, they get their reward. I also made these, these are smaller, first, then, next, which you can use at home. Like if you're trying to get them ready to go to bed. So what we might want to do with this, if they're having a little trouble, is take a bath. Oh no, I dropped it. Pajamas, and then or take a bath, brush teeth, bedtime, which you guys can see. And you can put it there and then you can show them, and it's like building a little mini schedule for them to work with at home, all right, to make things easier. And you can do this with building in chores, nighttime routines. In this book, there's things like medication, brush hair, get in the car and go for a drive if you need them to go somewhere with you. And it just helps set up these things with these visuals, which can make it just a little bit easier for our kids to understand and to plan and to understand what's happening and what the expectations are. The other big part of this, when you go in here and we have the weight page, which is green. And this is more behavioral stuff. This is more stuff that's a little bit, if they're having issues with behavior while you're working. So we have things like breathing, and these are for prompting. Safe space if a child's really struggling and having a little bit of a meltdown, it might be good to prompt to go to a safe space, to take a break, to have calm body, to sit in the chair, quiet mouth, to turn down the volume on the iPad or the phone. I can think of a few of my friends who love to blast music or Sonic the Hedgehog games. But these visuals can help understand that, and prompting with this can sometimes help eliminate a meltdown or a tantrum. So another thing to help work with when you're working with them, I'm also made for you guys these rules. And these you can just post on your wall, on your refrigerator, someplace where you can see it. And it basically is basic mouth is quiet, eyes are looking, hand to feet to self, ears are listening, raise your hand. And it's up to you if you want to use raise your hand at home. That's something more that's more school-based, but sometimes setting up that structure that this is schoolwork time. And so, you might want to have them raise their hand in practice. But again, that it's kind of your choice of what you want to do. This could also be really useful if you are working with, if they have brothers or sisters or cousins and everybody's doing their homework together, it might make sense to use these rules for all the kids, right? And to practice raising your hand so not everybody's talking over each other and it doesn't get too loud. But so you'll have this to set up with the kids when you're doing work with them at home. I also made like a name tag that has just some basic supports. This is really going to be helpful for some of my more independent students, but it's also like just nice there when if you're working on an activity that maybe is involving money, time, numbers, just for visuals, so you can point and have them practice counting, even and odd, basic shapes and colors. That's all going to be supported on there. So you'll get one of those too. And then I'm making what's called the zone of regulations. And I'm gonna see if I can send you guys a video about it on how the zones work and how to utilize the zones to help. Because the big push we have in our room is that no feeling is bad, no feeling is wrong. You're allowed to feel whatever you feel. Like, we're allowed to feel that way. What's not okay is when we don't react appropriately. Like if I'm upset and I'm frustrated and I don't ask for a break, or tell people to leave me alone, or I don't use some of my management techniques. Like, that's not okay. We can't get mad and hurt people, but it's okay to be mad. So we teach the kids about feelings. And so like this is the red feeling page. So if your child's very upset, you can you can talk to them about this. You're feeling like, which one do you feel like? How are you feeling right now? How do you feel? And then down here are different suggestions of things that you can do. Deep breath, take a walk, stress ball, or counting. So these are some coping mechanisms, appropriate coping mechanisms that the kids can try to use when they're feeling upset, and it links in. So it's about identifying how I feel and then making a choice that's an appropriate choice. It also does the yellow feelings, which is feeling embarrassed, silly, anxious, scared. And so again, yoga poses, relax quietly, deep breaths, drink some water. And blue feelings are feelings like tired, shy, bored, sad. And here they have listen to music, happy thoughts, take a walk, wall push-ups, of activities that you can do that help your body when you're feeling blue. And then baseline, which is where we want to be when we're working, is green. And green is our baseline, which is happy, calm, good, and proud. And so here they have things that they can do when they are in a green zone, which is like work together, sit in a seat, share, and have whole body listening. So, one of the things I would do at home is prompt the kids when you're getting ready to work, what color? How do you feel? Where are you feeling? And then hopefully if they're telling you I feel green, then we're ready to work. But if they're telling you I don't feel green, then we need to try some of these strategies to help them get back to green so they will be ready to work. And to help with that, I'm also sending you guys this page, which is some different techniques. So this side is happy thoughts, like fun things to think about if we're feeling sad. Train breathing, which is blow out quick through your nose and your mouth with your mouth closed. Try it 10 times. It sounds like a train, like, and the kids like it. It's like chugga chugga choo choo, and just practicing and counting to 10 with breathing. This is racetrack breathing, which is having the kids focus and they take their finger and they drive around the track. It's a little weird because I'm looking at this on the computer screen, but basically we drive around the track and we breathe and we think. And it just is sort of help calm and center ourselves. And down here are some different yoga poses the kids can try. So I've got all of that. So that is the bulk of what I'm sending to you. There'll be some stuff from the unique curriculum. I'm also doing a one-page homework type page so that, with a reading log on it. I know some families are struggling. It's really important that we have the kids working, but but I want to make this work for your family, which is why I'm trying to send all of these supports so that you can be set up for working at home with them and it can be successful. I know I just dumped a ton of information. So if you need me to go over any of this or you want to talk through it, I am more than willing to. We can get on the call, we can do a video chat, we can just chat on the phone, and we'll go over everything so that you can see it and practice with it. But I do think that this is going to be helpful. From what I've been told, and it came out last week or this week. I don't, maybe Friday. I don't know. Who's losing track of time? ESY, which is our summer school program, is going to be virtual. So if your child will be participating in ESY, they're going to have to do it online. So that's why I just really want to make sure that you guys have all of these supports, because I don't know exactly when we're going to be getting back into the buildings, and I miss the kids. And I know you guys are being rock stars working on this at home. And I appreciate so much that everybody's getting back to me and calling me. We got to just work through this step by step. We'll get through it together. Hopefully these supports that I'm making can help. I am working my fastest. It's just a lot of cutting and laminating. So I'm hoping to be able to get them to you this week. It may not be till Monday. I'm not 100% sure. It's going to depend on how much I can get done with just the cutting and the Velcroing, because it's a lot of cutting and Velcroing. But I do want you guys to have these books and all of these supports so that you can hopefully have an easier time getting the kids to be engaged with working with you at home and just working with you in general on the things you need them to do in the house. So I'll sign off for now. I know it was a bit of a 17-minute rant. But thanks so much, guys, and I will hopefully be talking to you soon. Bye.